Alright everybody, today's video we are going to install some Govee Underglow lights. We got some RGBIC. So let's get it going. So right now let's make sure that the lights actually work. I got them plugged up directly into the battery. So now that I know that they work, let's go ahead and get them installed. I will not be using the little silicone things that come. I already threw them away. I don't use those. What I'm going to be using in its place are these little metal tabs. If I can find where I bought them from, I will include the link in the description. I don't recommend using just the adhesive tape. I've seen on some cars it sticks and works fine, on other cars it does not. If you're putting it to metal, then yes, clean the metal good to stick right to it. But up under my car is all plastic, and from my previous experience, it does not stick well, all that well to plastic. So I am going to use the 3M tape, but I'm going to back it up by mounting this metal tab to it as well. So it will sit on the car like this. Metal tab will go there, and then a foot or a foot and a half, whatever down the line, another metal tab will go there, and then this will securely hold the underglow to the bottom of my car anyway. So the control module wire is going up, and it comes up by the fuse box under the hood. I'm gonna have it sitting somewhere around there, and then the wire will go into the fuse box, and I will use a fuse tap. Glow that's on the driver's side and the rear is running up. I got it clipped into the factory harness. I'm going to zip tie it to that harness. It's going above the foam and it's tucking in behind the plastic harness. I'm going to zip tie that as well. It's going to go down and under the car, under the side. Then the front is going right in between there, and then it's coming right from up under the car, and it lands right there. So the front is going to mount right here, directly behind the lip, the splitter. That way you won't be able to see any like physical harsh light. You will see just the glow, and then it will run over and mount under the side. Also, I use this to prep the surface. That way, hopefully the 3M tape will stick to with all its might, even though I will be using the metal clips, holders, whatever they are. I'll be using those to hold it, but also clean all the plastic surfaces and the metal part of the bottom of the trunk with this, so that way it'll double hold. So I just want to let you know that. Alright, show y'all the front, how the front is installed. So as you see, I have, can you see? So I have my metal clips. I alternate them from side to side. So we got one on the back, one on the front, one on the back, one on the front. Like I said, and it is 3M taped to the underside of the car, and I did clean it with the prep stuff. So this particular wire will go under the tray there, and then I will wind up all the excess and zip tie it up in there so it won't drag on anything. So now I need to figure out my routing to get the wire up and over and back on that side. So I have the passenger side done. So what I did was, the wire from the front is right in that crease, and then it comes up through the fender well. It's right behind like that little brake line panel thing. And then it goes over on the other side of the plastic panel, and then it comes out the bottom right there. And then I already have this first wire here because it's from my my 3H height sensor. Then it goes up behind the fender well, and then under the car I have these little tabs that I use, and it has a hole in it, so I normally put a screw through it, and then run a zip tie over it to attach any wires. So I have 2 of those because I couldn't think of any other neater way to secure the wire. I have mine attached as far in as possible. Some people will put theirs like right here on the edge by the pinch well, and I don't do that because of jack stands, you know, exhibit A and exhibit B, Harbor Freight. So I put my underglow all the way to the inside by whatever this panel is right here, and it also makes it harder to see the direct light, and you will see just the glow because it's so far in as well. So you also see my metal clips like I have in the front. The only thing that's left to do now is the driver's side and the rear. So we have the driver's side mounted up, cleaned, and with our metal brackets. To go to the rear, I ran it up. I put the underglow through that hole to keep it from potentially dragging. So then that goes up. I took a bunch of screws out of the fender well. So the cord goes up, it goes behind this screw, so that way it keeps it from falling out. It goes up, it goes on top of this, and then as you can see, it comes out here. It follows the wheel sensor wire. Everything is zip tied up. It's going to go behind the panel. It's going to go behind this screw, behind that plug, then it's going to drop down and go up on the rear. The wire comes out of the rear fender well, then it comes up. It is following, is have a zip tied to that wiring harness, which is by the exhaust hanger. Then it simply just goes up, and I have mine taped directly to the metal part of the trunk floor that I cleaned with my stuff that I showed you in the beginning of the video, and it just goes all the way across like that. And this is how my last one was set up, and it held just fine, as you can see from the leftover 3M tape for my last Govee kit that only messed up because the wire came loose and drug the road for about 60 miles, and it still worked. It's just that one side would only do like 2 colors. Yeah, that's how the rear is. So now let's make sure it works, and let's see how it looks. So before I turn the lights off, the kit came with a remote control, which allowed you to control the lights, and it's actually a really nice remote control, and it doesn't feel all that cheap, and it doesn't look too bad to not want to have on your keychain if that's where you want to have it. Me, I'm just going to leave it in my car, my center console, because I don't like a lot of stuff on my keychains. So let's see how this works, and let's see how the lights look. Now, I don't know all the modes this thing has. I'm just kind of clicking through on the key fob, but you do have more options in the Bluetooth app. So you have like a little pulsating mode. You have a, I guess, like a little alternating light mode. I guess this is like a fade in, fade out mode. I guess it goes through all the colors. And then you have the rainbow mode, I guess you call it. Oh, it's like a little smoother version. So it goes all the way around the car in sync. And I guess, you know, you have to go through the app to kind of see, you know, what are the options that you have in there. But, you know, oh, I need to go through the wiring for this, don't I? So let's go through the wiring for this, how we have it wired up. As far as the wiring goes, the second from the top is the horn fuse. I'm using a mini fuse tap with a 15 amp and then another 15 amp running to the underglow. So the power wire is ran from the box, is going under this bracket, it is coming up through the side on the bottom left into it. The power is running into the fuse tap, and then the ground is running right up to the ground strap that comes off the battery on top of the strip mount. So with that fuse is always hot, so that gives me the option to run the lights while the car is off. Now, my previous experience, you can run these lights off the battery for about 4 days straight without cranking the car before it kills the battery. Ask me how I know. Okay, thank you for asking. I went on vacation for 4 days, came back, car was dead. And that's another reason why I have this voltmeter gauge, which is wired straight to the battery on the positive and then grounded on the negative right there on that same ground. That way I can see what the battery voltage is, and if it drops below like 11.3, it makes an audible alarm noise where you know when your battery is going low. And this, I can put the link on Amazon. I think I paid like $10 for it a couple years ago. And this was an idea that I got from Mike, aka Lopsided, because he has one on his car as well. So this is how this is how I did the underglow on my Mazda 6, and I'm sure your car will be something similar. Like, so you can do as little or as much as you want to. My last one I had on here lasted about 6 months before the wire came loose and broke the ground. So I'm trying to make sure that this one, if it stops working, is not because it was of any fault of mine. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate y'all. Until next time, peace.